SIM and FMS, we are going to move ANSYS system. So last time we discussed about the challenges, different types of FMS, and then advantage, disadvantage, and challenges with FMS. So for today's discussion, it is numerical control. So how do we control the machine by numeric by some instruction, and how do we provide those instructions? So for that we have these numbers, letters, and symbols. So machine tools will be controlled by the these numbers, letters, and symbols. So in saying machine tool, it means the movement of the table, and movement of the tool that we will control with the help of instruction, and then that instruction will be given in the form of numbers, letters, and symbols. So numerical control can be defined as a form of programmable automation in which the process is controlled by the numbers, letters, and symbols. Now you can think why suddenly we move from earlier we were studying about CAD. CAD we studied, then we integrated with the CAM, and then we studied about SIM, and then we went on FMS. So why suddenly this topic came? Numerical control. As you can see, we are moving from design phase, CAD, where design phase, to manufacturing, to combining computer manufacturing and process planning, and then business FMS. As you know, FMS includes business also. So in that case, we are again going to this part, CAM part, and where we will see how to manufacture the part and how to control the tool movement. Okay, so as you these are the this is the definitions of form of programmable automation, because we are moving from automatic automation. So here we use the help of CAD software, and then if there automatic drafting we done, and then here earlier we were doing everything with the manually. Obviously machine will be there, but operators are running those machines. But what if we can eliminate the operators here in the CAM part? So we cannot completely eliminate, but we can reduce the operators jobs, and for that we developed NC machines, so that because at the time there was huge demand, and to fulfill those demand, operators were not able to work as per the requirement of the company, and for that leads to automation. And again there is a chances of more error with the human in comparison to machine. So that's why, yeah, industry tried to move from manual work to automation. So when I say operation, uh, for operation of process, remember this process or operation, it means you can consider any or many of among, like cutting, drilling, shaping, milling, reaming. Even you can consider welding also in special cases. So there are many operations you can consider. So all in all, what you can say, machining operations or machining process. So whenever I say machining process operation, you automatically consider any one or many of these kind of operation. So to perform those machining process, what do we need? We need to, because we are programming for the automation so that machine can run automatically without the intervention of human. So we have developed this system, and that system is consist of basic three components, mainly three components, that is program of instructions. So here we will prepare the program, then controller unit, or simply machine controller unit, that will read the program and generate signal to move the either machine tool or work table. And then machine tool or other control process, here the instruction uh, signals that we get from the controller unit, that will use to run the machine table or tool. So these three are the main components of NC system. I am talking about this one is around 9060, around 9060. So obviously it was the time when NC system started developing. There was many cases, many discussion around 1960 that leads to development in the NC system. First they developed one directional control axis, and then they went on two directional, then multi-directional control they developed. So in this, MIT played a huge role, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So as we have seen, there was program of instructions, three parts: part program of instruction, machine control, and program of instructions, machine control or machine control unit, MCU, and third one was machine tool. So we will discuss first program of instruction. So it is the detailed step-by-step set of directions which tell the machine tool what to do. So to move the machine, what to do means, it will not, obviously if this machine is designed for machining operation, it will move the tool or machine or work table with respect to tool. So that is understandable that it will perform the machining operation, or if it designed to do like welding operation, it will do nothing else. And again, program of instruction is given in the form of numerical or symbol or letters, symbolic form, as some type of input medium that can be interpreted by the control unit. Okay. Next is the the most common input medium today is 1-inch wide tape, but today it is not used. We have almost eliminated this, because all we are having NC digital screen where we can directly type the command, and that command is instruction, not command. That instructions are recorded in the storage buffer, and then that is extracted directly from there. So instead of using 1-inch today, it was it was around 1960 to you can understand say around 2000, but we have moved away from this inch tape, punch tape. So earlier the coding was look like this. As you can see the numbers 0 1 2, maybe it is not video. I will zoom for a minute, in a minute. And then here these are these holes you can see along this line. These hole these are the holes you see circular. Okay, and here you can see one column, and here you can see a small dot. Let me zoom a bit for a moment. Yes. So you can see here the column, and then you can see here numbers, again here letters, and here you see this one is instruction. Only this much you will see on the punch tape. This one is how we are doing the coding part, that how to represent 0 on the punch tape. Again, how to represent 1, you can simply check here. To represent 0, we have to punch in along 6 column. Here only single punch, and that becomes a hole. When I say punch, means creating a hole in a tape, and we will see in coming slide that what is the tape. And then to 1, you see the hole here, this one hole. For 0, this one. And for 2, you can see 2 1 is in front of 2, just 2 3 4. Now see this 3. For 3, we have this one in front of 5, and 2 holes here. So in this way the instructions are coded, these letters and these instructions. So one by one, one number or letter at a time is coded here. And again, symbol is also there. Here you can see period, comma, plus, minus, space, delete. These are the symbols that are also coded here in this form. And it is standard electronics industrial application tape coding for ANSI system. So now you have got the understanding that this coding is done on a punch tape in the form of hole. Now you would be curious about what is the punch tape and how does it look like. So we will see in coming. Before going there, let me discuss this one also. So you can see these are the holes, and in between you will see this hole. So this is for sprocket. Here we will have a wheel, because it has this punch tape has to go somewhere. So a sprocket will be there, and that will fit in these groups, this dark group, and it is have no meaning, only for the moving the punch tape forward direction. We have used this one. Okay, so these are the various guidelines where we have to put the holes. Okay, so as you can see, the row of sprocket holes utilizing when punching the tape. These holes do not affect coding. Okay, so this is the punch tape. As you can see here, space for this hole. These are the holes. Zoom a bit. You can see this is the hole for this pocket cover, and this one is the code. As you can see, these are the codes. Here we don't have a middle hole for this pocket that I was talking about. Regular middle hole for the sprocket we don't have here. Because we are already having holes at the both edges to pull the paper upward. So these are the coded instructions. And you also see that this one is stick with a glue here. So one part and another part is joined with the help of glue, and there is no hole. So there is also benefit, because from time to time we need to change the program. So instead of replacing the whole punch tape, we what we do, we generally cut the this much of the part, like you can understand, this much of the part, and then we will replace it with another instructions. So as you can see, 260, 250 part number, so it has been prepared manually. 240, you can see, 230, 220. So this part, any part, if you have you need to change anything, so you can change it in this part or more than one section. So consider this as a one section and it is glue, so you can change more than one section. So this is kind of punch tape where we will prepare our instruction by punching it, making a hole on the this punch 1-inch wide tape. And this one is magnetic, not here, this one is magnetic. Here the data will be instruction will be recorded here. Here we don't need to punch it because it is magnetic. So how do we prepare the punch tape? Here we have this one where we will punch it manually on this machine, and then we have program as I have shown you, and here rotary switches used to enter program data constants. Here these switches will be used. So on off, some on off, and in the form of instruction we will give on this machine. It will prepare our program. So here I am talking about how do we prepare the hole in a punch tape. Hole is instruction. How do we prepare the instruction on a punch tape? That is all it's talking about. That with the help of switches, here we will punch the tape. And you can see here ANSYS system, where it is the back side of the controller unit, machine controller unit. You can see, then this is the punched tape. Here you can see instructions are punched, and here you can see, because here you don't see uh, row of holes at the any both edges. So to pull the paper, we have this middle series of holes, rows of holes that will pull the paper up. So this one is also, this one is punch tape. You can watch a video here after this class. Next is controller unit. So this consists of electronic hardware that reads and interprets the program of instruction and convert it into the mechanical action of the machine tool. So it will take the instruction from the punch tape and convert it appropriate signal that will lead to movement of the machine tool. That's why mechanical action. The typical elements of conventional ANSYS controller unit includes the tape reader. Obviously, earlier we studied about punch tape, so that tape should be read, and that will be done by and that will be done by tape reader. And then we have data buffer, where tape reader, after reading, it will have memory for some time, and then signal output channels to the machine tool, and that tape reader instructions are read and stored in data buffer, and that data buffer generates signal for machine tool. And again we also have the feedback channel. So control units consist of electromechanical device for winding and reading the punch tape containing the program of instructions. The data contained in tape reader are into the data buffer. Again signal output channels are connected, same thing, connected to the servo motor. Here because ANSYS system is used for the precise movement, so for that we have ANSYS servo motor, not stepper motor. Here we have servo motor for the precision requirement and other controls in the machine tool. Through these channels, the instructions are sent to the machine tool and from the controller unit. So all in all, you have to understand the controller unit takes the reads the instruction and gives the generates the appropriate signal to move the machine tool. That's all. And again, it has also some feedback mechanism, and it is achieved by the servo motor. So machine tool is a third main component where ANSYS system is the machine tool or other control process. This is the machine tool that perform our useful work. So you can see the most common example of ANSYS system, one designed to perform machining operations. The machine tool consists of the work table, as you know, spindle, as well as the motors and control necessary to drive them. So apart from punch tape and control units, everything related to machine tool. Once the instruction from control unit comes here, even the motor, spindle, work table, control units are also becomes a part of machine tool. It also includes the cutting tools, work, fixers, and other auxiliary equipment needed in the machining operation. So you can understand after punch tape and control unit, everything is related to machine tool. So in that you can understand punch tape is not visible to you. Obviously it will fed to this control unit from backside. Okay, so it punch tape is not visible, and this one is your control unit or machine control unit, MCU or MCU, and this whole becomes your machine tool. So it also includes the table, this various motors, here motors, drive mechanism, and then here tool, various controllers. So this is machine tool, punch tape is not visible, and this one is machine control unit that will read the punch tape and generate signal to run the machine tool. So when we go for the ANSYS system, we need a process planning. Process planning means sequence of the operation we have to perform. So sorry, we have work for office. From raw we have to produce a finished part, and that part needs to go various machining operation. So those machining operation we have to determine manually what are those machining operation and in which sequence those machining operation will be performed. So you cannot perform all the machining operations simultaneously. Obviously, there should be some sequence of operations. So either you will go for the first planing, and then after planing you will go for the cutting operation, then you go for the milling operation, then you go for the cutting, milling, and then after milling you go for the drilling operation, and after drilling you go for the reaming operation. So these are the operation. In this way you have to move from raw material, you have to work on the part to make it as a finished part. So these are the sequence operation. So in ANSI procedure, again what you have to do, the same operation you have to coded it in this way. So again first you will code for the planing, then cutting, then milling, then drilling, and then reaming operation, then it becomes your finished part. So so process planning for ANSI system starts from 2D drawing. I am talking about 1980s, 90s, after 1960s. So that time we were having 2D drawing mainly. So and we followed this ANSI system around up to the 2000. And after that ANSI system with the computer came, and then it became popular. So it process planning start with the engineering drawing, as we know that we will draw the finished part as a our design on 2D paper, and work part must be interpreted in terms of manufacturing process to be used. So from the 2D drawing we will consider the what are those process that are needed to produce this finished part. So first you will have a workpiece, and then you have to produce like this part from this to this. So this becomes your raw piece or input material at first stage, and then this one becomes your finished product, or you can say this becomes your work part, and then after finishing it becomes your job. So this one you will obviously you will make a 2D drawing, and for that this is read what are the process required to produce this part from here. So this one is immaterial for us. It means we will not focus on this, we will focus mainly on this. So what are the various process required, and then we will list those process, and then we will select a uh, set a sequence of operation, and that sequence of operation called root C. Okay, which must be performed on the work part. It is called a root C. So we will have the part programming. So again from 2D drawing you have got the idea that you need to perform a specific operation, a specific machining operation, and that operation should be in sequence. Again, how to code those operations, that is the part of part programming. So you don't read, only part programming is done in the two way: manual part programming and computer assisted part programming. So here you see the manual part programming is the machining instruction that prepared on a form called part program manuscript, and manuscript is listing of the relative cutter work piece position which must be followed to the machine the part. So here we will have the manuscript like punch tape, that was the very prime example of simple example of manual part programming where punch tape is produced manually. Instructions are produced manually on a punch tape. And computer assisted part programming helps in once we have the CAD model, it directly we have it computer directly generates the sequence of the operation, and then we have and it automatically calculates the various geometry of the program, and in that geometry of the job and with many machining steps, so it calculates in computer assisted part programming, so it results in significant saving in time and programming time. We will see more on coming discussion. So tape preparation, either you go for the manual or for computer assisted, where you have to prepare the instruction. So in tape preparation, it is form of preparing the instruction or starting coding. So punch tape in manual part programming directly from the part program manuscript on a typewriter like device that I have discussed in earlier, and with the tape punching capability, so we will have the punching capability. So if you want to see, you can also see this. Here you can see the programs are, and here switches where we will use to punch the tape. And so it is manual part programming done here, and computer assisted part programming, computer interprets the list of part programming instructions, perform the necessary calculation, converts it into a detailed set of machine tool motion commands, and then controls a tape punch device to prepare the tape for the specific machine tool. So here computer is doing everything, and then it prepares the punch tape device to prepare the tape. Punch tape, yeah, all in all, it also prepares the punch tape, but it is done by the computer. After preparation of the tape, that is the instruction, we verify it. So how we will verify? First, either we can run it freely and we can see if how the machine tool is moving, that is like similar like simulation. And second one is this one, tape is checked by running it through a computer program which plots the various tool movements. And this one, you can run it freely because we have machine tool, so you can run it freely or in a computer program, so we can see the movement of the machine tool. After verification, we are ready for the production. So mainly production involves ordering of the raw work part and then specifying, preparing the tooling and special fixturing. These are the part of manufacturing department that will deal with it, obviously. And setting up the machine tool for the, once everything is done, we are ready with the instructions, punch tape, and then the remaining other raw work part, tooling, special fixing if needed, everything will be settled with the machine tool, and we are ready for the function. So here main operator's function is during the production of the raw work part in the machine and establish the starting position of the cutting tool. Here what will operator do? Operator means that is operating the machine. it will set the starting position of the machine tool. So either here or here, it will set the machine tool starting position, and from there your machine tool or machine will take the command and take over, and it will start machining. Yes. Next, when the part is completed, the operator removes it from the machine and loads the next part. Obviously, once your job is done, you will remove the part and then you will load the unload next part. So, ANSI coordinate system, we have this Cartesian coordinate system where ANSI we generally use if three-dimensional part. Obviously, generally parts are three-dimensional, but generally if the part is in rectangular in nature, so we will have this kind of coordinate system where horizontal plane will have this direction x and this direction y. You can say this one plus y and this one plus x, and up direction as a plus z. If we are having the rectangular part, okay, so it is Cartesian coordinate system. And then sometimes we have the cylindrical part, so for that we generally use this kind of polar coordinate system, and in that we have this z-axis is along the length of the cylindrical part, so this one becomes plus z, and we don't use y-axis here, because it is cylindrical. So let me erase it for a minute. See, for this along the length we will have plus z, and along the radial direction we will have x-axis. So from this we are having plus x, and here this direction plus y. So once we are setting this position, so tool position is fixed. Tool position is movement of the tool only in these two direction, plus x and plus y. Oh, sorry, plus z and in radial direction. Since the cylindrical part generally it rotates, so obviously whatever the distance you will cover one, due to rotation other dimension will around the circumference also covered. So for example, this one is your work part, and then in cylindrical part if it is rotating like this, so when you fed the tool along this part and up to this length, it will able to cut this much of the thickness from all around the workpiece. So only one direction you will consider it as a x, and this direction becomes your plus z along the length. I am showing it vertically, but it is generally horizontal. Z axis is generally horizontal. For understanding, I showed you this way. Then we have fixed 0. It means the tool static position. So listen it here. From where somewhere we have to start the machining operation. So at the start we have machine table, and then we have a tool here. Suppose this one is your tool. So we have to set this machine tool. So generally in fixed 0 position, table is given with the dimension, and with that dimension this corner is marked at a 0 position. So this becomes your fixed 0 position. Okay, this one is your fixed 0 position. South west corner becomes your 0 position generally in the here in fixed case. Table and your operator is standing here and observing the machine from this direction to this direction. So generally this one is your table. This is your fixed table. That is origin is 0 here, that is fixed. And then we have another 0, floating 0. This one is very useful. Don't read here, just understand it. Here this again, this one is machine 2. So when we use floating 0, we can make any position as a fixed 0 position. In earlier case it was fixed at this corner in fixed case position, but in floating 0 we can make any position as a 0 position. This one, this corner, or even this point we can make it as a 0 position. That's why it is called floating 0, and it very beneficial when we program for machine operation, because you don't need to worry about from distance from here, here. You have to worry only about the, you have to think only about the part geometry, and on part geometry you will directly set the your 0 position for the tool. So this one is floating 0 is very useful. Then we have, since machine tool move, when I say machine tool moves, it means either, see very carefully, either work table, or this one is your tool, make it this one your tool, and this one is your table, and this one is tool. So either that table will move along in, if this is kind of setup, that means you have used the Cartesian coordinate system. So this becomes your x-axis and this axis becomes your y. In horizontal plane, table is in horizontal plane, and tool direction is becomes your plus z or minus z. Okay, so there are two cases, either you move the tool along this, or simply fix the tool and move the table. Generally in most cases we move the table, but program you would be surprised to know that programming is done for the tool motion, but generally actually we are moving the table, not this tool. So you can understand that if the tool is at this position and you want to take your tool to this position, so there are two ways in positioning of the tool. There are two ways. First, you set your tool here, and then, so when absolute, I am talking about absolute positioning, so this whole table will have the coordinate system, as I have told you that in fixed 0 position, this one is your fixed 0, and if this one is fixed 0, suppose this one is your part, and then in floating position you can set this one as a your 0 position, this corner. So from here this becomes, you can calculate the coordinate value because you are programming, so you can locate what is the position of this point. So you can locate the coordinate value, suppose it is 4 and 5, and then you have to take your tool to this coordinate value, that is 6 and 8. I am talking about the floating 0 case where you have set your own position, tool position. zero position. So from here to here, absolute zero. Positioning means coordinate axis. Say from 4 to 5, this one coordinate value you have to enter in instruction. So that is a part of absolute positioning. When we talk about incremental positioning, so we need to check what is the difference when tool moves from this position to this position. So as you can see, 4 to 5, and when tool goes 6 to 8, the difference is x direction is delta 2 and y direction is 3. So increment, you have to only give this increment 2 and 3, and that becomes your incremental positioning. You have to specify only this. Earlier you were specifying the coordinate position. When you were specifying 6 8, that was the coordinate position. And let me tell you in a quick way. ANSI motion control system, first is point to point, straight cut and contouring. So here this one point to point mainly done for the drilling operation, because this one is your tool at somewhere, and then you set this one tool will come here, perform its drilling operation, then tool will go here, perform drilling operation, then tool will go here, perform it. So tool first come here, drill it, and then retrieve, then move it here, drill it, and then retrieve, then go here, goes here, drill it and retrieve, and then after finishing it will come back to original position. So it is only construct with the point. On particular point tool will go, it will drill and then retract and then move to the next point quickly. So it is motion between these 2 points is very fast. Straight cut is generally uh, don't read here, just understand here. Straight cut is generally, here we have rectangular part, so along the one axis, so tool moves one axis at a time. So if this one is x axis, tool will move first x axis, and then you have to take your tool y axis, then only y axis movement, only one axis movement is controlled here in straight cut system. Okay, either x either y, you cannot control x and y. When we control x and y, it becomes contour. So this becomes a contour. Here you can see this part you are machining, and it is a form of both x y, and when we also include the z motion, z axis, third dimension, so it becomes a contour milling. So obviously you can understand that if you are making a groove from here to here, so this is a form of contour. This becomes a form of contour milling. These parts I will discuss in next class, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. So what we are left, you can read it, take it screenshot, and you can understand easily. Application of numerical control, these are the points. You can take a screenshot and read it, although you have the PDF with you. Then economics of numerical control, you can read it. Reduction in non-productive time, reduce fixing, reduce manufacturing lead time, greater manufacturing flexibility, improved quality control, reduced inventory, reduced floor space requirements, and these are the disadvantages: highest investment cost, maintenance cost, and finding and training of ANSI personnel is must. So here I am stopping it, and I hope you have got the fair understanding. If you have any doubt, you can ask right now. I will wait for 2 minutes and then attendance part will be done. No? No query?